Hello, my dear students. How are you all? I hope you all are doing very well. So, in our today's session, we are going to start a new chapter. The name of this new chapter is The Girl Who Married a Snake. Okay, actually, this is the famous story from Panchtantra tales. Okay, again, we are going to see the Panchtantra tale stories. Okay, so come with me and start the chapter. Once upon a time, there lived a Brahman with his family in a village. So, my dear student, this story starts. Okay, this story starts with, let's see, once upon a time in a village, there lived a Brahman with his family. Both of them were sad as they had no children. But the Brahman and his wife, both of them were very sad. And why they are very sad? Because they don't have any children. Every day they prayed to God in the hope that one day they would be blessed with a child. And every day they offer their prayer to the God in hope that maybe one day we are blessed with a children. Ultimately, the God bless them with a child. Okay, so everyone says the wait. Okay, have a patience. God will definitely give you fruit of your prayer. So ultimately, finally, the day come and the God blessed Brahman and his wife with a baby. The Brahman's wife gave birth to a baby, but the child came to be snake. Okay, so you can see here, my dear students, the wife of Brahman birthed. Okay, but she birthed not a girl, she birthed not a boy, she birthed a snake. Okay, she birthed a snake. Everyone was shocked and advised them to get rid of the snake as soon as possible. So when this lady birthed instead of a child, a snake, okay, everyone from the village, everyone in their relations, okay, all their relative, they suggested that throw this snake because he is a snake, okay, and you have to get rid of from this snake as soon as possible because it will create danger for you. The Brahman's wife remained firm and refused to listen to anyone. But you know what? Mother is mother. Okay? Okay, mother is mother. So the Brahman's wife totally refused that no, I'm not going to discard my baby. She loved the snake as her son and didn't care that her infant was a snake. Okay, अच्छा, ये जो लेडी हैं ये अपने बच्चे को बहुत प्यार करती हैं. इनको इससे कोई मतलब नहीं है कि इनका जो बच्चा है वो एक सांप है. She brought up the snake with love and care. Now the Brahman's wife started taking care of this snake. Okay, this snake with utmost love and utmost care. She fed him with the best food she could arrange for. Okay, और जो ब्राह्मण की वाइफ है ये इस सांप को जितना उनकी कैपेसिटी में था उतना अच्छा फूड प्रोवाइड करती हैं. She made a comfortable bed in a box and made him sleep on it. Okay, and for the sleeping for this snake, the Brahman's wife made a comfortable bed in the box. Okay, comfortable bed in a box. Okay, and in that box, this snake always sleep. The snake grew up and his mother loved him all the more. So slowly, this snake started growing up. Okay, and the Brahman's wife means the mother of this snake started loving him more and more. On one occasion, there was a wedding in the neighborhood. The Brahman's wife began to think of getting her son married. So one day, there was a marriage ceremony was happening in their neighborhood. Okay, and immediately after getting the glimpse of that wedding, the Brahman's wife immediately thought that time comes. Okay, this time the time comes to get my son married. But the question arose, which girl would marry a snake? So for a marriage, you need a human. Okay, means you need a male and you need a female for marriage conduction. But here question arises, which girl is going to marry a snake? Okay, which girl is going to marry a snake? Although she had a belief that she would definitely get a girl for her son, but ब्राह्मण की वाइफ को पूरा बिलीव था कि नहीं, कोई लड़की जरूर होगी जो मेरे बेटे से शादी करेगी. One day, when the Brahman returned home, he found his wife in tear. So one day, when the husband of this lady, the Brahman came, okay, he found that there was a tear, that there were tears in his wife's eye. So he panicked and he immediately asked, "What happened? Why are you crying?" She didn't answer and kept on crying. So immediately he asked, "Can you please tell me what thing is bothering you? Why are you crying? Actually, what happened?" But the wife of Brahman kept quiet. Okay, he kept quiet and kept on crying. The Brahman asked again, "Tell me what hurts you so much." Now the Brahman was panicked. Okay, he again asked, "Can you please tell me what happened? Why are you continuously crying?" Finally, she said. So finally, after some time, the wife of Brahman started speaking. "I know you don't love my son. You are not taking any interest in our son." So the wife of Brahman started talking. "See, I know you don't love our son because he is a snake. And I also know you are not taking any interest in his life. He is grown up, okay? But I am his mother. I can see he is grown up. You don't even think to get him a bride. So as you can see, our son is grown up. So you don't think the time has come to get him married?" The Brahman was shocked to hear such words. Now the husband, means the Brahman, was literally shocked hearing such unbelievable words from the mouth of his own wife. He replied, "Bride for our son." So he was in complete surprised shock. He said, "Are you really thinking what you are saying? Huh? You are asking me to bring a bride for our son. Do you think any girl would marry to a snake? Are you lost? Are you lost of your mind? Can you imagine any girl, okay, any girl who will who will become the girl who is going to marry a snake? Okay, who will marry a snake? Because our son is not a boy. Our son is a snake." The word meanings of get rid of, take, deliverance, roast to awaken, stir up to excite. The Brahman's wife didn't respond but kept on crying. So after listening such a hurtful words from his own husband's mouth, Brahman's wife kept quiet, but she kept on crying. On seeing her crying like this, on seeing her crying like that, the Brahman decided to go out in search of a bride for his son. लेकिन ब्राह्मण ने जब देखा कि मेरी वाइफ कंटिन्यूअसली रोए जा रही हैं, तो उन्होंने डिसाइड किया कि कोई इशू नहीं है, मैं अब जाकर अपने बेटे के लिए दुल्हन ढूंढता हूँ. He traveled to many places but found no girl who was ready to marry a snake. So the Brahman started searching the bride for his son. He traveled many places but he didn't find any girl who is going to marry her son. At last, he arrived in a big city where one of his friends lived. At last, he was completely tired and lost all of his hope. Okay, so at last he arrived in a city where his one of old friend lives. As the Brahman had not met him for a long time, he decided to meet him. As the Brahman didn't meet his friend since long time, so he decided, now if I came here, so I must have to visit my friend. Both the friends were happy to see each other after a long time and spent a good time all together. Now the Brahman and his friend were very happy to meet with each other after such a long time. Now they started spending a good quality time. During the conversation, the friend happened to ask the Brahman that why he was traveling throughout the country. तो जब ये लोग बात कर रहे थे तो ब्राह्मण के फ्रेंड ने तब पूछा, क्या आप बता सकते हो आप इतना जो घूम रहे हो किस वजह से घूम रहे हो, आखिर ऐसा क्या रीजन है? The Brahman said, I am looking for a bride for my son. Now the Brahman immediately replied, my friend, I am searching a bride for my son. The friend told him not to go any further and promised his daughter's hand for marriage. Now the friend told, see, you have to stop your search here right now because I promise you that my daughter will marry your son. The Brahman was shocked and said, after listening such a promising word from the mouth of his close friend, the Brahman was completely shocked. Okay, so in his shocked state, he said, I think it would be better if you see my son before deciding this. ये बहुत अच्छा होगा कि पहले आप देख लो कि मेरा बेटा है कौन और मेरा बेटा दिखता कैसा है, तब आप डिसाइड करना कि आपको अपनी बेटी की शादी मेरे बेटे से करनी है कि नहीं करनी है. His friend refused, saying that he knew him and his family, so it was not necessary to see the boy. But his friend was completely convinced. Okay, he said, listen, my friend, I know you and your family very well, so there is no need to meet your son because I have full faith, I have full belief on you and in your family. He sent his daughter with the Brahman in order to get married with his son. So उस आदमी ने अपनी बेटी को ब्राह्मण के साथ भेज दिया कि मेरी बेटी जाके ब्राह्मण के बेटे से शादी कर ले. The Brahman's wife was happy to know this and quickly started making preparations for the marriage. So here you can see, my dear students, the Brahman's wife was literally very happy. Okay, and again she started making preparations, a grand preparation for the marriage of his son. When the villagers heard about this, they went to the girl and advised her not to marry the snake. जब शादी की प्रिपरेशन स्टार्ट हुई और जब गांव वालों को ये बात पता चली तो उन्होंने तुरंत उस लड़की के पास वो जाते हैं और कहते हैं कि आपको शादी करने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि शायद आप नहीं जानती हो बेटा कि जिससे आप शादी करने जा रही हो वो कोई लड़का नहीं है बल्कि वो एक स्नेक है. The girl refused to hear them and insisted that she had to keep her father's word. After learning that the person who is going to become his bridegroom is not a man, okay, but a snake, still that girl refused because she has to keep the promise of his father. Okay. Accordingly, the marriage between the snake and the girl took place. Now, following all the rituals, finally, the marriage between snake and the girl completed. The girl started living with her husband, the snake. Now, after the completion of the marriage, the girl started living with her husband, who was a snake. She was devoted wife and looked after the snake like a good wife. Actually, that girl was literally a very devoted wife, okay? And now she started taking very good care of his husband. The snake slept in his box at night. Here you can see, my dear student, this is the wife and this is a snake, okay? So every night this snake slept in the box. One night when the girl was going to sleep, she saw a handsome young man in the room. So one night when that lady is preparing to go on the bed to sleep, immediately he saw that a handsome man appeared, a handsome man standing in front of her. So she was frightened and was about to run for help. अच्छा, वो जो वाइफ थी वो बहुत ज़्यादा डर जाती है और वो भागना शुरू करती है. The young man stopped her and said, don't fear. Didn't you recognize me? I am your husband. Now the young man who was standing in front of that wife, he said, see, you don't need to afraid. Can't you recognize me? I am your husband. The girl didn't believe him. The young man proved himself by entering into the snake's skin and then came out of it once again as the young man. Okay, so The wife didn't believe that the person who is standing in front of my own eye is my husband, because my husband was a snake, not a person. So, to prove his point, the young man converted himself into the snake and again came back in human form. The girl was really happy to find her husband in a human form and fell at his feet. Okay, so the girl was finally very happy to see that his husband converted into human form, and immediately she fell down on her husband's feet. From that night onwards, every night the young would come out of the snake's skin, and from that night onwards, okay, the snake started taking human form. He used to stay with his wife till daybreak, and then would sleep back into the snake's skin. Okay, तो वो अपनी वाइफ के साथ रहता और जैसे ही दिन हो जाता वो तुरंत स्नेक में कन्वर्ट हो जाता था. One night the Brahman heard a voices from his daughter-in-law's रूम. सो एक रात को जो ब्राह्मण है उनको अपनी बहू के कमरे से कुछ आवाजें सुनाई देती हैं कि उनकी बहू किसी से बात कर रही है. He kept a watch and saw the snake turning into a young man. And to listening the words of his daughter-in-law, he kept a watch. And in front of his own eye, he saw an unimaginable scene. And that unimaginable scene was that a snake, okay, the snake who is his own boy, turned into a man. He rushed into the room and seized the snake's skin and threw it into the fire. And immediately, after witnessing such a horrific scene in front of his own eye, immediately the Brahman went and took the snake skin and immediately threw that snake skin into the fire. The young man said, "Dear father, thank you very much. Due to the curse, I had to remain a snake until somebody, without asking me, would destroy the snake's body." So, when the father destroyed the snake's skin, okay, so immediately the boy said, "Thank you, my dear father. You destroyed my skin because I have a curse that, and according to my curse, okay, according to my curse, anybody have to destroy my snake skin without asking me. Today you have done it, and today you destroyed my snake skin without asking me. Now I am free from the curse, and you, due to you, my father, today I am free from that curse." Thus, the young man never became a snake again and lived happily with his wife ever after. So, from onwards that day, when the curse was vanished, now the boy started living as in human form with his wife and along with his father and mother. So, my dear student, come with me and let's have a look on one two new words. Curse. What is the meaning of curse? Solemn invocation of divine wrath on a person or thing. Okay, so my dear students, I hope you completely understood this Panchtantra tale. Okay, so go thoroughly through this chapter and complete the exercise based on this chapter. Okay, now I'm taking leave and going to meet with you all in next session with a new chapter. Till then, take very good care of yourself. Bye.